Hello, SimTheWorld, back with another video of Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. Today we're going to jump in and take our next story order mission. And with that, we actually see a return vehicle. This is the streamer, I believe, from episode 3. And he says, "Hey man, it's me again, and I need your help again. My street racer career is progressing nicely, and now that I've made some money from some of my internet videos, I'm ready to tweak my little beast. You know, when the light goes green and I really want to step on it, I feel like I have to work harder than before. By the way, the car doesn't feel as comfortable as it should. Do something about the interior and see if the engine needs a tune-up or something. See ya." Alright, so the interior he mentions, we'll go ahead and take a look at that. I don't see any issues. Let's go ahead and take those parts out and see if there's any damage. Yeah, I don't think there's damaged parts in interior, is there? Yeah. I think it all looks fine. And in fact, let's jump out, close that, and examine the car. So, the car looks in pretty rough shape, but I think this is just normal wear and tear. So we're not going to be as easily able to just diagnose by looking. The things I do notice, the transmission looks kind of bad, and these coils all need to be replaced. We look at the car status, and we do have a decent laundry list of items. So let's get that up on the lifter. And I want to take a look and run some of the diagnosis tests. Give us an idea of what we need to do tonight. Alright, let's test this. Let's start with the electronic meter. Starter, I can't see the starter. Yeah, that's in the way. Starter looks fine. Yeah, everything looks fine. Let's go ahead and check the spark plugs. We can tell the coils need to be replaced, so I'm expecting to see all 8 of those parts. Yep, all spark plugs and coils need replaced. It also looks like the exhaust manifold needs to go and the front exhaust section, which they did tell us. Boy, there's still a lot to find. Let's try it. I'm concerned. I don't want to see this pop up, but we are overdue to do a full repair on one of these engines. Yep. 2 of the pistons need replaced. I think with that means we're going to pull this engine, get that out on the engine stand. We still have a lot to find. I'm going to take the transmission off. I'm going to take a look around the back end too a little bit. Like, actually, these tires look a little rough. We got the tester. Might as well use it. Okay, all the tires are fine. Everything's just at 55%, so it looks kind of crappy. Fuel pump and filter look good. So I believe I'm going to jump through and take care of the transmission and stuff. I will see you guys in a few minutes. Alright, so you can see we pulled out the engine. When going through the suspension, I actually noticed that the steering rack and tie rods needed replaced. With the transmission, there's also the drive shaft and drive axles that need replaced. But other than that, that was all I really found underneath here. And in fact, we actually have the full part list. So most of it's the spark plugs, coils, most of it's on the engine and transmission, pistons, things like that. We found the few suspension parts that needed replaced. so it wasn't too bad. Since we're taking care of the pistons, that's why I wanted to pull it off, pull the engine out. It just is so much easier to work on here, on the stand. Like, this has got to be one of my favorite features in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018 is the ability to just take the engine out. And it makes it easier to swap engines. For some of our rebuilds, we'll go through and we'll switch up the engines and things like that. I've also found in the past it's nice to be able to, like if you're trying to restore some cars, what I'll do is build a few engines. So that way I've got them stored in the warehouse. There's engines, full builds that I can just grab and install in a new vehicle. I almost wish you could buy full engines, like a crate engine from the store. I know that takes away from the game just a little bit in the fact that you wouldn't be building it yourself, and maybe a lot of people would disagree with me on this one, but sometimes I just want to restore a car completely, fully, slap an engine in it that's nice and new. I suppose if I really wanted to, I could just buy one of the new cars from the dealership, and instead of keeping it, I just pull the engine out of it and put it in another car. So I guess there are options. I'm also just kind of lazy, and I mean, crate engines are a thing. You can buy an engine and just put it in a car. So, or maybe in a future game it'd be cool to, instead of doing that, you could sell your engines that you build. Alright, so we got the pistons out. I think that's everything. You go ahead and put the new ones in. I really don't know how you do a job like this in real life with just replacing one or two pistons. Like if you're doing a full teardown like this, pulling the engine out, you certainly wouldn't reuse the rings. That'd be a huge waste. But also, I would want all four pistons, not just the two. Like bore out the block and the heads, freshen it up. Alright, both camshafts needed replaced. Cam gears are fine. Yeah, see that 98% one? That was from our last video where they said it was broken, but in fact it was just fine. Did not need to replace it. Oh. No, we're keeping our timing belt. They get the one they came in with. Put the cover on. Let's go ahead and put the rest of this engine back together. Yeah, now it's going to be really nice with being able to do the full repairs too. Because when we're streaming on Twitch, a lot of the jobs where you just take the orders, unlike the story orders, those don't have to be repaired to 100%. In fact, if you take a look at the car, let's jump over here, you can see it says repair with minimal parts condition of 100%. For other vehicles, when they come in, they'll actually tell you what percent the minimum has to be. And that often doesn't have to be 100. So that's where I can get away with using that 98% cam gear. Will still be fantastic just to slap in somebody's car. Even some of these 55%, like you get an older vehicle that's in really poor condition, they'll just be happy with anything. Yeah, like now, I'm tempted to use the 88% spark plugs we have, but since this is a story order, it has to be 100. Isn't the end of the world, but... Alright, let's get this in, and I believe that's it for the engine. Let's take that off the stand, and we're going to lower the car and then put that in. Can't just dunk the engine in. Let's install it. And I don't... Yeah. Let's lift it up, because we're going to have to put the transmission, the gearbox back in, the drive axle, all that good stuff. And then we can put the starter in and put oil in it. There's the drive shaft. Got the front exhaust section too. Yeah, we have the exhaust manifold we need to put in. Tires were fine, nothing needed to be replaced. Yeah, this streamer's channel, or YouTuber's channel, whatever he's posting these videos to, must be absolutely booming. To where you can afford now to do such in-depth engine repairs. Let's go ahead and now we can put the starter back on. We can replace the exhaust manifold. This thing is screwed in tight. Put on the cover. And with a little oil, we should be done. As long as there's no other... We probably should have checked, make sure everything was replaced. No glitchy parts. But no, we got the job bonus, $2,000. Everything's taken care of. So this car is good to go. Let's collect our cash. Not a really high-paying job, just short of 9 grand, but that's still another job completed. So, thanks for watching as I simulate my life one game at a time. If you like this video, please be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of the future action. You can follow on Twitter for updates to future games being played, as well as follow on Twitch as I try to stream 3 days a week. Thanks, and I'll see you next time at SimTheWorld.